you guys is why there's love and what we need to balance out the world. It's what you know. It's what you understand that's key here. Doesn't matter what degree you have on the wall. That's why I hate degrees, because it doesn't mean a thing to the quality of your knowledge and awareness. But that also brings me to a point that as man, we must learn to ask questions. I never mind people asking me questions, ever. Matter of fact, if you don't ask questions, I'm a little worried, because one should always ask questions and learn and knowledge up before you jump. Like this poor lady taking chemo for spondylitis. The hell is that? There's Asperger's syndrome. Let's see. Age 7, she has been on meds known to man from Abilify to Zoloft. I feel sick sometimes at my lack of knowledge to have allowed that to happen. Don't worry. You know what? Road to Wellville. Now's the time. This is I don't know if I have time to read all this whole case, but boy, a 22-year-old daughter, I would get her on raw and start rebuilding, start regeneticking this body here. Depression, anxiety, you've got the twins, you've got endocrine gland problems big time here, obviously. Central nervous system, so you're going, you're working, you're moving lymph, you're into the endocrine glands, hit the pituitary, hit the adrenals and parathyroid. Obviously those two are essential for this girl, adrenals and parathyroid. And start moving blood better in the brain, upper circulation, brain and nerves, strengthen those brain cells up there. It doesn't matter what type of disorder it is in terms of the language, motor skills, it doesn't matter. This will overcome. She will begin to redevelop that nervous system and those nerve centers in the brain. Seen this a lot. She has a she's a hyper-focused person. But again, bringing that into balance there. $100,000 question. How long will this detox take and what can expect in the process? Well, it can take, I don't know, and what can you expect anything? I don't know how long it's going to take. I never know those things. But I certainly can tell you that this is the only road she has. It's the only road, if you think about this logically, it's the only road is tissue regeneration and genetic remembering of cells. And that seems like a mouthful, but it isn't. It means your cells are learning higher awareness, a higher ability to perform than what they conceive themselves or perceive themselves to be. You would have to understand consciousness and spirituality to understand that statement I just made, because this is into quantum physics now, proving matters of energetics and intelligence and things like this, and how there's different frequencies, different levels, and frequencies have different levels of awareness, of consciousness. When you're getting up into these higher levels of healing and detoxification, you're taking these cells with you. When you're channeling the God force, you're taking your cells with you. And you're actually channeling this consciousness to all your cells. That's why at a certain point when the body isn't well, your spirituality sometimes can kind of bump along a little bit if you're not careful. That's why I keep saying you got to separate yourself from your bodies, because if not, you can get tied up in stagnation spiritually because your body is stagnant and full of pain and stuff. And I know how a lot of you guys are in. But if you hang in there and you understand your focus and understand the causative factors, there's nothing else out there. Keep looking. But don't get confused on the journey. That's the problem. If you get confused, you'll get waylaid. Poor daughter. She's 22. She's doing well now. She's reading The Power of the Now, meditates. Good. Dana, get her on raw, get her down the road, get her on the fruits, start turning on those electrical systems, getting more neurotransmitters, pumping up the adrenals, get the parathyroid. You might even have to get into her pituitary and really take off. You'll get her. You'll change her. She's only 22, so she has the power of youth behind her on top of this. So, Mom, go forth and conquer. Road to Wellville. Good question there. Keep going with her. Upper circ, brain and nerve, get into the bowel, clean her up. Get the lymph moving, get the kidneys, get the adrenals up, get the parathyroid, but go after the bowels, just start cleaning her up. Tara, beloved, Hi, Dr. Morse. Thanks for the comment, sweetheart. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with them. I love the videos on spirituality. Thank you. I have uterine fibroids, multi-ovarian cysts, got real anemic from heavy bleeding, and the allopaths are talking hysterectomy. I don't believe in removing the uterus. May consider a different procedure to cauterize blood vessels, supplying the fibroids. Too much bleeding is making it hard to function. Well, take the bleeding formula. We have the bleeding formula. Again, that's for internal bleeding. I think that'll help you a lot. I would probably really try to work with some Hillel tea. I mean, you'll have to lift your hips up and really try to get that tea up into the uterus as much as possible. You definitely want to work internally with this. You've got to get your kidneys moving, your adrenals up. That's really key to clean the uterus lymphatically. This is the lymphatic issue. This is a kidney and adrenal issue again, going back to causative factors now. And the inability to filter lymph. I don't know if you have fibrocystic breast. That's common. It goes along with the package because the lymph stagnation is systemic. So you start seeing this. And then with estrogen levels raging a little higher in women because of all the estrogenic chemistry out there, then that's just more burning and more burning, you know. So really detox that lymph system. Get your kidneys filtering. Look for that sediment in the kidney. A lot of you are starting to see it. That's fantastic. And go after that way. And you'll be successful in getting that out. Unless it's real big and really causing a lot of problems, then you'll have no alternative, I think, than the hysterectomy. I mean, I spent a lot of years looking at that. Now, we have some that are as big as footballs, and it's just so hard to get those dealt with, so it's generally best to have them out. But if it's not that bad, but use the bleeding formula to stop bleeding. That'll help you right off, and then get detox and detox, detox. I bite my tongue, but you could do a little progesterone cream on the hips, but I bite my tongue, and you know, I mean, you have to really be hitting your adrenals real hard on the other side, too, to make sure that you don't have that beat-up adrenals when you're taking steroids. But again, I bite my tongue with that, but it can be helpful to bring down a fibroid, but oof, I don't believe it. Okay, so take over that. Yaz. I don't like to... Was that you that bought into this guy saying that I'm a liar? This sounds like probably a government agent or something who's just trying to stir up trouble. There's no lies. I never lie. I don't have to lie. I'm straight as you see it. Matter of fact, you might not like me, man, because I'm real straight. I tell it just as it is. I have no reason to lie whatsoever because I don't care. So, I don't know. People like you disgust me, though, just from your making statements that are not even true. That's actually slander. And I'll give this to my attorney today, and we'll see what he says about it. We'll look you up. Yas, don't buy into that crap, man. I mean, these people are ridiculous. But let's just say I didn't have any education whatsoever. Would you still believe this? That might be something you want to ask yourself, because you got to know this is true. Most of you are already doing it and see the difference and feel the difference and know that it's true. But, you know, the natural health has such a long and winding path, you know, of ups and downs and ideas like drinking all the water is going to make you well and stuff like this. This is this whole stuff, and a lot of you are seeing that it's not true. You've done it on yourselves. You're not taking my word for it. I'm just taking everything you guys experienced and read, and I'm pulling it all together and sifting out all the crap, and here's the bottom line. That's all it is. Oh yeah, you went to Thailand for 4 years. That guy I talked to, one of my clients in Thailand, he's got access to watermelon, fresh mangoes all the time. He's fresh fruit all the time. My evening medication kept getting disturbed by the thought of what a soupy... I love what you had to say there, man. This is true. You know, the mind. Then you had to, as soon as you got your soapy massage, it was good, wasn't it? I know. You know, sometimes you just have to bow down, do it, and walk on and keep on going down the line. I know. Paradoxal, said Hannah. Dr. Morse, thank you so much for being you. Can you please recommend the best help I can get for opening up my heart chakra. Oh yeah, I mentioned that. As far as herbs go, externally is not the answer really. Just be brave, practice, gratitude, and be here now. Hawthorn is an amazing heart herb. Oh yeah, this is Dan Ellis. Yeah, absolutely. What are your thoughts about mistletoe infusion therapy? This is a good question because I don't, mistletoe is an herb I've used and studied, but don't go nuts and bolts over it. Some people are. I don't know. Infusion therapy in regards to cancer, I don't know. You'll have to see. I just think there's so many more powerful herbs when it comes to the lymph system that I used mistletoe a little bit, but it didn't fit. It wasn't right. It didn't feel good to me, so I took it out of my formulas. Good for hanging over the door though with a beautiful lady. Oh wow, let's see, I have plenty of similar questions. My friend's nephew was born with what they call hypoplastic left heart syndrome, also known as HLHS. Is a rare congenital heart defect in which the left ventricle of the heart is severely underdeveloped. The left ventricle is what pumps blood to the body, so it's nice to have a good sized left ventricle to do that. That's after the air gets oxygenated from the lungs. It goes into the left atrium, left ventricle, and then out to the body. So, the effect in which the left ventricle of the heart. He has had 3 heart operations thus far. Oh, poor thing. Yet children with this condition generally are lucky enough to live to their teens. Oh, honey. Well, you know what? Raw she goes. That's what I do. Raw she goes. A lot of fruit, and raw she goes. Use the heart formula because I made that heart formula is to really help strengthen the heart and the heart muscle, and it's possible, it's possible. So I would really move on those lymphs and get that lymphs moving because acidosis of the heart will serve to shrink it even more. So getting more base chemistry into the tissues there, I think, is going to enliven that. Is going to turn on that heart tissue and maybe expand beyond its genetic memories, So I would just go in that way and just focus on strengthening the body and cleaning the body of the lymph system and to see what happens, because you don't know. Some of these I've never had an experience with them, and so I don't know, Can heart tissue, this is all tied together. It's interesting how these 3 ended up the same. Can dead heart tissue from an old heart attack be repaired by eating fruits? Yeah, absolutely, Lisa. I firmly believe that all tissue that's been broken down can rebuild. But I don't know to what degree people are willing to hang in there. There's not enough research. I'd love to see a lot more research done on these kind of conditions and the high level of raw, especially over several years. We've seen some, we've x-rayed some, we've had some filmed by Fox News that were just dramatic. Just like, oh my God, so I've seen enough oh my gods to say, there probably isn't anything impossible, and I can't live in that world. I can't live in the world that, no, there's nothing you can do world. All the doctors live in that world. Oh, there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing they can do about it. So I don't live in that world. I've seen too many cool things, so I'd really hang in there, do all raw. Shoot for the top of the mountain. It'll actually give longer life to this individual.